Hey everybody, and welcome to Orion's Diary. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about extraterrestrials or aliens, and I want to let you know that I am not a astrophysicist. I do not work for NASA, or I do not study the heavenly bodies above. I'm just a person who researches and learns about things out of the ordinary and things that are not of the mundane. So, if you're sticking here with me, then let's talk about it. Extraterrestrials. What are extraterrestrials? Extraterrestrials are beings or objects outside of Terra. Yes, our planet's called Terra. It's not Earth, it's called Terra. And these beings are watching over us, guiding us, protecting us. Some of them have hidden bad agendas, but for the most part, a lot of them really want to see us technologically advanced and moved on from this primitive set of rules and mindsets that we have. Now, we have been seeing extraterrestrials come to our planet for centuries, and we know this because our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, the Toltecs, the Aztecs, African civilizations, everybody has marked down on their walls about extraterrestrials or a divine higher being coming down to visit them. African tribes have been doing scarification due to a reptilian like entity coming down from the sky, they said, which we know is an extraterrestrial when you say they come down from a sky or in a spacecraft, and they look like a crocodile. So this deity looked like a crocodile, and so what this African tribe does is they scar their face, their body, their whole entire body, and it looks like the crocodile scales, which is pretty cool. Not my cup of tea, but it's pretty cool. And then if you look at ancient Egyptians, they have an Egyptian deity or principle named Sobek, who is also a crocodile deity. You know, that's pretty similar. These are two different places, two different tribes, all in Africa. Yes, yes, in Africa. Okay, let's not get it twisted. Egyptians are black. Thank you. Sorry, I have to say that because a lot of people are ignorant around here. We like to raise awareness. We don't like ignorance around here. But yeah, these deities are similar and they could possibly be the same type of extraterrestrials or deities. Next, we see the Mayans. The Mayans has these group of extraterrestrials, or we see people with elongated skulls. If any of you seen Indiana Jones, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. The skull, or the crystal skulls with long elongated skulls. And to me, that screams alien, right? Or extraterrestrial. And then they said that the Mayans just up and disappeared, which may or may not be true. I don't think people who are so technologically advanced and so smart would just kapoof. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Some people say that the Mayans actually moved out or were kicked out of where they live into Cambodia, or they moved into Cambodia. I don't know. But the most occurrences we can see of extraterrestrials that are right in our face and we don't have to really look too far is in the ocean. Yes, the ocean. Like octopus, jellyfish, cuttlefish, starfish, squids. They are extraterrestrials and they do look different. They're not from here. There is so much that we don't know about the water and the ocean that has not been discovered yet because it's so vast, so deep, and there's so much depth in the ocean that our scientists have not been able to get down to the bottom of the ocean because number one, it's super cold, it's super dark, and the more you dive deep down into the ocean, the more higher pressure that you reach, and the pressure caves in on the craft, on the glass of the craft, and it can crack and it can break, and that makes them lose energy and air. And so, of course, the water can come in and just, they'll die because there is no other way to escape that. So these starfish and the squid are able to regrow limbs, and I think that's cool. That's so cool, and it's weird at the same time, but it's cool. That is something that is not seen in our world. If you look at all the mammals and everything that walk on the earth, if you cut a limb off, it's not growing back. Okay, if you cut your own limb off, it's not coming back. I don't care what animal it is walking on the earth, it's not coming back. But the squids and the starfish, they're able to regrow the limbs, and starfish are also able to regrow another starfish. And I think that's really cool. But scientists are now trying to mimic this behavior or this phenomena of regrowing limbs so that amputees who have suffered from diabetes, who have suffered from, I don't know, modern warfare or warfare in general, have lost their limbs. A lot of our veterans have been, shot, blown up. I know that's a bit graphic, but they have been in war, and so they've lost limbs. And so now our scientists are trying to get this information and take this occurrence that happens in the starfish and an octopus and put it towards humans. I think that's great for people who don't have limbs. And I think if we can do that, that's better than robotic limbs. Because then at that point, you're also regrowing nerve endings, right? So you'll be able to feel versus a robotic arm that can only just move and probably pick up stuff at the most. There are so many different types of extraterrestrials. There are the Sirians, the Lyrians. There are the felines, many different types, the reptilians, the ETs, the little gray ETs that everybody talks about. So there are so many different types. And the thing is that we cannot be ignorant and say, hey, there aren't any other life forms out there, because that just shows our ignorance as human beings here. There are so many different types of extraterrestrials that we don't really know about, because they're watching over us and they're studying us. And most than likely, they're probably having, us communicate with them telepathically through means of abduction. Now, I know this is going to stir up some controversy because it already has in my own home. A lot of my family members are saying, well, if they're extraterrestrials and they're abducting them, then they're not getting permission. But the thing is that when people sleep, and because we have free will, and extraterrestrials, they actually communicate through telepathically. They don't talk like you and I. This talking, using your mouth, is actually pretty primitive to them. And so they like to use telepathy to talk and to communicate. And so people unconsciously and unknowingly give permission to go on a alien ship. Yes, you have to have permission because this is against galactic law. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I know it's going to stir up controversy and I have to protect myself. This is a disclaimer. But yes, everybody has free will. It's just like you sitting in an audience at a magic show and the magician asks for a volunteer. Well, you go up there and you volunteer yourself. You're given permission for the magician to do whatever. Now, magicians, they deal with knives. They put you in this box and they saw you in half. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh. And then they put you back together. But what happens if the magician makes a mistake and they actually do cut you or saw you? Well, you just gave them permission to do that. Now, you might say, hey, I didn't know that they were going to, cut a piece of me or an article of my clothing or a piece of my skin or whatever. But you kind of did. You did give permission. And so that's why I say that topic is a little controversial. But it's pretty true that, aliens, they talk to us through telepathy. Allegedly. Yes, I know. It's a little far-fetched and hard for people to grasp, but they do. Okay. And like I said, they've been coming here throughout time, throughout space, and even the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan even stated that he is not concerned about people coming after him for the controversial things that he says, because there is a starship, a big UFO starship that is coming back and is coming to get him. Okay, you guys gotta look at that video. It's pretty cool. And also that, I don't know about you, but I'm always waiting for my cool extraterrestrial family to come through on a bomb fly UFO. Like, here we are, we coming to get you, because most likely if you're watching this, that means that you are the black sheep of your family, you are the rainbow sheep of your family, or you are a sheep in wolves clothing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get through life, trying to navigate through life. But, it's okay, because I'm here for you. We're here. And that was just a little bit about extraterrestrials. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what other topics that you want to talk about. Peace and blessings, love and light.